Welcome to Impression After 20 Hours, the series where I make an honest review after at least 20 hours of gameplay. And today we're looking at this indie game called Colony Survival. It's a strategy action, adventure kind of colony management game in first person. I did make a tutorial on this game 2 years ago, right before it came out, because I got my hands on a closed beta key. That video is quite dated at this point, so I'll treat the gameplay segment of this tutorial, or sorry, not tutorial, review, as a short tutorial for you. But let's get into the review. So, in the words of the devs of the Steam store page, they describe their game like this. Colony Survival is a unique first-person strategy game developed by a two-man team. Build your own colony in a voxel world, command guards, farmers, miners, and other colonists. Defend your colony against a horde of monsters that attack every night. I feel like that's a short-sighted but quite accurate description. My description might sound a little more like this. Grow your colony, defend it from zombies, research new technologies, try to keep the villagers happy and explore new lands, grow your empire of multiple colonies, and trade, like region exclusive items between your colonies. And it's quite cool. To test all the features and technologies that you can research in this game, I've probably spent roughly 100 to 120 hours just before doing this video for you. It's been quite enjoyable, and being able to say over 100 hours straight enjoyable at this price point of a game, that's decent, right? So it has been enjoyable, frustrating at times, difficult at times, but also rewarding in the end. But let's head into the game. So I'm going to start a new world just to show you what the game looks like. When we start a new world, we can either grab a world from the Steam Workshop, or we can make our own. So I'm going to make my own. We're not going to have monsters attack us during the daytime. We're going to have a normal amount attacking us at night. We're going to use the happiness system, because otherwise the game's piss simple, and the seed doesn't really matter. So let's create a world. As soon as we get in, we need to kind of decide on where we want our colony to be and place down our colony flag. I'm gonna head over there and do it because it looks nice and flat. Here we are. And there are different biomes in the game that have biome specific things you can make. You have the normal world which you start in, then you have the Far East, the New World, and the tropics. But that's quite far into the game before you want to colonize those. So I'm going to plonk down my flag by selecting number 2 on my keyboard. As you can see, this flag on my hotbar. Start a new colony here. We need to name the colony. We'll call it Review Colony. And create. Now, whenever we have number 2, our banner selected, we can see where the safe area is. So no monsters will spawn within this light area. They'll spawn outside of it. So before we start recruiting villagers, I would probably secure the edge somehow. And the easiest and probably effective in terms of what materials you need is just to dig a moat around it. So let's do that. There we go, a moat is done. That will save us a lot of headache in the end. You can turn on your permanent torch around you by pressing G. But as you can see here, I left an entrance because we need to have a path for the monsters or zombies, or whatever you want to call them, to reach the flag. Because if we don't, then we'll go into, I can't remember what they call it, but like panic mode. Let's see if the tutorial says anything. oh yeah, siege mode will be activated, and all our villagers or colonists will eat up all the food very quickly. So we have our little area. We've secured the whole thing, and as you can see, I've pretty much built this mode on the outside of the limit, because now zombies can spawn here, they can spawn in the moat, but they can't get in, because they can't jump diagonally or anything. As soon as we've secured the area, we can start preparing for next morning, which will include recruiting villagers. So we click number 1 on our keyboard to get the command tool. And here we can recruit food farmers, we can recruit guards, miners, foresters, and so on. Flax and herbs, construction errands is basically making your colonists maybe dig out a big area for you so you don't have to dig and so on. But first we're gonna need food, so we need some berry farmers because we don't want to starve. I'm hoping this is the correct direction. Let's make 2 of these. And then for the berry farmers, we're gonna need to have 2 beds. And we're gonna need to have a crate for them to fetch things out of and put things into our storage. So our storage is universal for the specific colony. So when I'm in this colony, if I click I get the inventory of the whole colony. So this is shared between everyone. If you're multiple people playing this multiplayer and you are running the same colony together, which I think is a really cool feature and I enjoy it a lot with my friend Scott, we have the same shared inventory in the colony. If your friend runs his own colony, or if you have multiple colonies, the inventory is different when you leave the colony and go into another one. The same if I run away from this colony, I won't have an inventory. But now we have our berry farmer areas ready, so with the command tool you can set jobs for them to do. But if you click I and go to colony, or you use the flag on number 2 on your keyboard and right click, you find recruitment. So we can recruit colonists, and they will cost us calories, they will cost us food to recruit, and then obviously they eat food every day. But we're not quite ready to recruit those. So we have our berry jobs ready. We're gonna need, and you'll see why in a second, we're gonna need a stone farmer. So, and I will jump into a game that's way further advanced than this in a minute, but these are the basics. So we dig down until we find the dark stone. In the dark stone we can set miners, which essentially just stand on a block and mines that block forever. It doesn't break. So here we go, here's the dark ones. So I usually dig down to this level, and here you'll find copper, you'll find tin, and so on. When you dig to levels below, you'll find other materials. So down here now, we can, if I just dig this out a little bit, there we go. We can now put a bed, because we want people to sleep next to their jobs. This is a very ugly mine, but it's just to show everyone. I'll put the, let's see, I want to dig this one out as well. I'll make a miner, and I'll face him towards this block, because I'm gonna put a crate where he can dump everything he mines into here. So because he's standing on normal rock, he'll farm normal stone bricks. If he was standing on the copper one, he'll farm copper, and so on. Now we have a stone farmer, we have some food jobs, we need a guard. So by our little entrance, I'm gonna put a nighttime guard, a slinger. He'll use a slingshot with stones, therefore the stone farmer. He is standing over there once we recruit him. So to make his life a little bit easier, I would put a little bit of a maze out here, so when the monsters attack, they have to move back and forth in front of the guards. I'll show you a bigger one once we're into the other game. At this point I would probably recruit my guys, so we'll recruit... Oh, we need a bed for the guard. I'll put it right here. Recruits. So then they spawn at the flag, they'll go start doing their jobs, and... Oh yeah, one of them is obviously going to bed because he's a nighttime guard, so he sleeps in the day. The colonists will always have to go to the flag or to a grocery store once a day to get their food and luxury items to keep them happy. As you can see, we have happiness 29 in the top left. If that goes down, our recruitment cost goes up. So we need to keep them happy. And we do that by going to the happiness menu and changing how much of each thing they can have every day. So right now we can see we're giving them 0.83 bread per colonist per day. With our current colonist count, that's 3.33 bread per day we're giving away. As soon as we start producing other things, we can change these as well to make sure they're happy. And with each person you recruit, you'll get less happiness. As you see, our population is -4, so they're not very happy and they're a bit hungry because we're only feeding them, well, 1,000 calories a day because we don't have berries to feed them yet, but we'll get that soon. As you can see, these guys, they have planted some berry bushes and started farming it. But our guard is using a slingshot, and to use the slingshot he needs these sling bullets. So if I click with this, you'll see I'm using the sling bullets. To make sling bullets, you can just hover on it and it says it's made in a workbench. Okay, so we need a workbench. To make a workbench, down here on the left, we need copper parts and copper tools. So let's make some copper parts and some copper tools. We can make a workbench. The workbench is also a job, right? Everything is jobs. We can't do anything except the few recipes we have in our inventory. So because that's a job, we're gonna need to have a bed, and I will probably put a crate here so I can make a row of different jobs in the beginning. And if we recruit this guy, there we go, we got another one. He'll come here and he'll start crafting these according to priorities and the amounts that we want to have total in our inventory. And as you can see, the first thing I'll do is fill up on ammunition for our guy. So this is what you need to keep doing. Eventually you're going to build this science lab where we can research new things. So as you can see here I can research the bronze anvil, which unlocks a lot of stuff to craft in it with another worker. We can also increase our banner radius. So what happens is this area, the safe area, expands when you research it. And what I usually do is I grab maybe the berry tool and I measure out, because the highest radius we can reach is 100. So if I try to build farms and research and do all that good stuff safely in my first zone and just work on that base, I can start building stuff that doesn't need colonists within, let's see, 100. Within this area right away. So I can start building here, but I'm not going to be able to use it because the monsters will still spawn here until later. But we can start making nice stuff, right? So that's the basic gist of the game. Let me jump into another save to show you more things. So we'll load my multiplayer world, which I have with my friend Scott. He's barely been on, but you know. Let me kill myself to get off from here. Here we go. Now we're in a bit of a bigger town. We have 258 colonists. As you can see here are my guards, and we have a bit bigger maze here, which the monsters will have to go through. And just like I said in the other one, if we click number 2 to our banner tool, you'll see I'm only using this first area, pretty much. I've expanded a little bit beyond it. But I've started building things out on my max radius, which I will research eventually. The thing that is that you will struggle with the most and you have to work on quite hard is the happiness system. So right now, I'm trying to give them some candles, some wax tablets, and jewelry every day, as well as a bunch of different types of food. And right now I've run out of cakes. So as soon as this becomes red, I can see my happiness have dropped. Okay, something's wrong. I'm gonna need to increase cake production. So let's go have a look in this job right here, the cook limits. What's the actual block called though? It's called a stove. Yeah. So for the cake, we need flour, egg, water bucket, honey berry, and firewood. So I have to backtrace it and see where am I lacking. Do I just need more cooks, or do I actually need more materials for it? And a good way to do this, in an easy example, is actually the bread production, which is the first food except berries you'll probably make. And so for the bread, we need wheat fields. As you can see, I have quite a few. Then we need the grinding mill to make the flour. And then we need water buckets. And these water gatherers gather water for me. So we can have a look actually. So we have wheat. We haven't run out of wheat. We haven't run out of flour. That's good. And we have water buckets. So if our bread goes down too much, then we know we just need more ovens for these guys to make more bread. Because we're not lacking in the materials for it. And a good tool for this is the statistics page over here. You don't have to use this, but I think it's kind of nice. So I usually maybe click a 4-day period or a 24-day period. Then I hide all, and then I click bread. And I can see, okay, so this is the amount of bread we've had in storage. And we're kind of going down on bread, so maybe I should increase this production a little bit. Or if we're running out of something. So, for example, something I always lack is cakes. Yeah, I had a good cake production, then I recruited a bunch of colonists, and it all went to shit, right? It's kind of funny. That's it, really. I think you'll do well with this. As soon as you reach the point where you can colonize more colonies, you'll make a glider to be able to fly and find new worlds or new biomes where you can then get tropic stuff, new world stuff, Far East stuff, trade it back to your village. Maybe you want specific things like coffee or a winter coat. Not too sure if we can make that here or if it's a different region we need it in. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is really good. So to conclude this review, I would say that if you like a voxel type looking game, obviously most people would probably name it as a Minecraft looking game, combined with a like a town colony builder in first person, you can easily get 100 hours of fun out of this. Like I'm not even exaggerating. I've played hundreds of hours on the world I was just in, and I've barely even begun making it look good, right? So I've only tried to research and like make things efficient and build for future, and just started making things look nice. I hope you enjoyed this review. It took me a long time to make, so if you don't mind giving me a like, maybe subscribe if you want to see more reviews and tips of games to play. And then I'll see you next time. Thanks.